Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3 and I'm back with a brand new episode. Part 3 of What If Naruto Broke His Chakra Limiter. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, I indeed have 3 more channels. Anime King 2, and Anime Symbol guys, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Speaking of, I post a new episode of What If Naruto. Never stop leveling up and evolving over on Anime King, so go ahead, check it out and enjoy. So without further ado or wasting more time, don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see when I post. How about we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin the intro. So the last time that we left off, Naruto ran away from the Hidden Leaf after discovering the huge secret about himself, just why the people did not like him, as he believed that it was the best choice for him to leave, as he could not forgive someone that took everything away from him. While he was on the run, Harrison decided to call Jiraiya in, as this situation was much more serious than he could ever imagine. After reading the notes that Harrison got from the Chakra analysts, Jiraiya found them to be unbelievable. There is just no way that could be possible. Immediately, the implications of what it actually meant slammed down on him like a brick. Thinking about a child like that, being naive and easy to seduce and use by others, he could only imagine the capability that the child would be able to produce and things he would be able to do with limitless reserves of chakra. He would literally be unstoppable. Immediately Jiraiya left, as he had to keep the information bracket to a minimum. He couldn't afford for people to find out about Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto met someone. His name was Asuna, as Naruto offered his help with the bridge. After stepping in, Naruto showed him why he needed him by lifting a support beam that took 4 others to do, but he did by himself. Upon leaving that night, Naruto returned back to his cave as Asuna met with his son-in-law Kaiser, who said that he met Naruto as well, as the kid was definitely running away from something, but he doubts that he had anything to do with the recent uproar of men that were watching their borders. Returning back, Naruto started to work for the man, as he even met his family, his grandson Iniri. However, they ran into a bit of a trouble as Gato decided to make a bold move by making them pay up. Naruto took on all of the bandits as he wiped them out. He did not kill, he just knocked them out though, as he sent them packing. However, Gato decided to push things up a notch as Kaiser could not be found. Gato kidnapped him and removed his arms as a sign to show the people why they must fall in line. However, on the day that he was going to do this, as Naruto was there, Naruto lost his cool. His rage overwhelmed him, as Naruto powered up, pushing past his further limit, clearing the distance before the swing could be given to remove Kaiser's head. Naruto demolished all of them. In his fit of rage, he wiped them away from the planet. However, his good act towards the people guaranteed them to see him as a hero. Jiraiya came around the village not too long after. Everyone decided to keep the information secretive. They knew Naruto by the name Menma only. The close family Tazuna knew him by his real name. Not to mention, Naruto somehow brought Kai's hands back, which made no sense, but he manipulated the chakra to form something that was not there before, which was beyond impressive. Kazuna had finally understand why Naruto was running away from the Hidden Leaf, as he told him that he will always have a home here. However, his last name brought something up. There was once a village known as the Uzumaki village, the village of the whirlpool. He believed that that was Naruto's origin. They told him that the bridge would be doing fine as he had nothing to worry about. He already gave them everything that they could ever need. Now it's up to them to provide for him, as they set him off with clothing, a boat and everything. Naruto spent days on the open water making his way, as he ran into some gigantic creatures that seemed to be protecting the island. Luckily, he could use a constant amount of chakra as he protected himself. When he arrived, his clothing was torn and he was a mess. He crawled himself to the island as he made his way. The place was barren and empty. However, his Uzumaki blood activated something, as he was sent through what seemed to be a different dimension. It was a very powerful seal, an extremely powerful one. He arrived in a massive library, filled with books as light turned on. He traversed the area before he came across something. Upon stepping through, a massive golem was brought together. The golem was extremely powerful, knocking Naruto back, as he had to think smart to fight it. He saw the seal intact on its back as he burned it. He then punched right through it, flying through it with as much force as he could. Upon destroying the golem, he realized that it was protecting something. When Naruto turned and saw what it was, he was shocked. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs. I'll be leaving a link to the other channels down in the description, so yeah, go ahead, check them out and enjoy. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode. Let's begin now guys. Naruto was surprised. This was the last thing he expected to see down here. A massive crystal. But it was what was inside. A girl. She seemed to be a few years older than him, possessing red hair. Her eyes were shut. Stepping forward, Naruto was confused. Why was she here? What was going on? He then turned back as he realized that the golem was protecting her. As he stepped over the threshold, something happened. A person appeared, confusing Naruto. Hello? Fellow Uzumaki. A tall man, red hair and purple eyes, dressed in brown and black. I'm sorry that this message would be so abrupt. However, we are currently facing the greatest tribulation that we ever had, he said, looking to the right. Hello? Said Naruto. As he realized the man wasn't talking to him, he walked around and saw that it was what was that word again? He couldn't quite remember. It started with a P. Oh yes, projectors. Forget it, said Naruto. As the man was speaking, your Uzumaki blood awakened the seal. Naruto looked down as he saw the seal on the floor he hadn't noticed before. I'm sure that you bypassed the golem by deactivating the outer seal, something that is taught to the younger generation, so I have no fear about that. Scratching the back of his head, Naruto realized that he didn't have to fight or destroy the golem. He just had to deactivate it. However, he didn't see that over there, despite it being in a clear point of view. Damn it. Well, that was already done. The man introduced himself. They must know him, he said. His name was Kagami Uzumaki. He seemed to be well known in the clan, the way he spoke about himself in these dangerous moments. Given the headstrong person that my lovely daughter has become, she would never sit back and watch as our clan falls. However, I choose to take that option away from her. I fear the outcome of our clan, but if our members might fall, The Uzumaki blood and name will not be erased from history. Down here is everything that you need to restart the clan and place it back on top. I must be going now, but tell Asuna that I love her, and I will always love her, he said, looking rather remorseful for the actions that he had to take, taking said action away from his daughter while he go and protect his people. The hologram vanished. The next moment, the crystal cracked like glass. The girl was placed in a strange hibernation, transfusion moment. Because the moment she woke up, she was able to react without any loss of momentum. Father, the word slipped out of her mouth as she saw Naruto, looking at his hair and his face. Immediately she dashed forward. Shocked Naruto was as he moved, not expecting her to be so fast. She did not expect him to be so fast either. Her hands blurred through hand sign. Before Naruto could even move, he was hit with a powerful wing technique that sent him to the wall. She jumped into the air as Naruto heard a violent whipping sound. The next moment, a pressurized wind force descended and crushed where he was, seamlessly crushing him in the process. Wasting no time, she landed as she rushed. She had to help, taking the secret entrance to get out as quickly as possible. However, the moment she came to the surface, her breath stopped. Her heart paused for a moment, her eyes fluctuate as she wondered if she was seeing things. Genjutsu. Asuna thought as she brought her hand up, trying to dispel it, but nothing changed. No, this is impossible. Father, where is everyone? She said, seeing nothing but destruction. She heard something behind her as she immediately dropped in her stance. Wait! I'm not your enemy, said Naruto. You're Asuna, right? And your father, I just saw him through, what's that word? Damn it, I can't remember. He was there, but he wasn't really there. She slipped in her stance even more, not believing the words that came out of his mouth. Kagami, said Naruto. Yes, that was his name. Kagami Uzumaki. So what? Is that supposed to stop me from seeing you as an enemy? My father was well known. How you knew my name was something that I'm not sure, but it will be in the past when I kill you, she said. I'm a Uzumaki as well. Do you take me for a fool? You must. There is no Uzumaki that looks like you. And I know almost everyone, she said, ready to fight. Damn it, how can I prove to you that I am? Look, you've been in that thing for a long time now. Tazuna told me that the Uzumaki clan fell over a few years ago. My mother, or father, I'm not sure. They probably went to Konoha when the destruction happened. And that's how I'm here. I'm half Uzumaki. I'm not lying. Her gaze narrowed. What do you mean fell a few years ago? Sorry, said Naruto. I just realizing that this was your home. Look, Tazuna told... Damn it, the book. If I had the book, I could have given you everything. But I'll tell you what I know from memory. He said it was a few years back. Given his advanced age, I would say that it was at least a lot of years back. There was a war, and many powerful people came to fight the Uzumaki clan, and they destroyed it. Her eyes widened as Naruto words trigger memories that made her understand. No, I can help. I need to help. The voices flashed through her mind. I'm sorry, Asuna. I love you. No, don't do this, father. Don't do... That was the last thing. She collapsed down to her knees, tears reaching her eyes. A broken, hopeless look on her face. Her purple eyes was glistening with tears, unmoving, unblinking. Everything seemed like it just vanished from her. Her strength, her speed, her force, everything was just snapped away as the realization hit her like bricks dropping down. Even if he was lying, look around. She remembered these places. They were barren and old and rusted now, but she could see things that was once a thriving village of the Uzumaki clan. The lake, the wonderful lake that ran through the village, was now a muddy swamp. She collapsed down, tears pouring out of her eyes as she cried. Naruto did not know what to do, not sure how to go about comforting people like this, especially in the moment that she was currently going through. However, he did his best by approaching. She barely recognized that he was nearby as he pat his hand on her back. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be alright, because given what you're now realizing that has happened to your clan, I can't even say that I imagine what you must be feeling. So I'm sorry for your loss, he said. I'm sorry for everything that you're going through. She did not answer him as she simply cried. However, Naruto sat with her, allowing her to release all of her tears, sadness, to the realization that her clan was gone, her people were massacred. The pain was truly overwhelming as she released it all with a lot of tears. Breaking down right there and then, she needed a lifeline to hold on to as she turned and hugged Naruto out of sheer instincts alone. Naruto wrapped his arms around her. His chakra, the warmth of his chakra, also blanketed her like a safety blanket, confining and keeping her safe. They stayed like that until the sun went down, despite Naruto starving. Throughout her pain, she could feel his stomach down in the later time as she pulled away. Finally, Naruto was able to see her face once again, but it looked like pure misery. His face was also solemn as he realized it was called for the moment. As she took a better look at him, she was rather caught off guard that she did not take much stock into how old he was before. He was much younger than she thought. I'm sorry for attacking you and almost killing you, she said. Oh, don't worry. I'm just fine, he said to her. She turned as she got to her feet. I don't know what to do now, she said with a tone of utter brokenness. I don't know where to go from here. My father was one of the top leading expert in Fuinjutsu within our clan. He taught me everything that I know. He taught me to be strong. I never knew my mother. She died when I was a child. My clan and my father was everything I had. My home. But now it's all gone. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go on, she said as she crumbled down to her knees, wanting her to trust him and feeling also vulnerable as well. Naruto spoke. I never knew my mother or my father. I know that I'm half Uzumaki, but I'm simply presuming that one of them is. I'm not sure which one is. The seals here recognize me as a Uzumaki, so that's reassured. I left my village some time ago. I have something sealed inside of me. Something that did something bad a couple years back. The villagers at my home always saw me as a monster. I kept on fooling myself that one day I'll be able to prove them wrong. One day they will see me as a hero, a friend, a comrade, but after realizing just what exactly is sealed in me, just what exactly is a part of me, I realized that I could never forgive the people that take everything away from me, so I should not count on them ever forgiving me. So I had to do something about that. I knew that running away was a coward option, but I gave in. I gave up, said Naruto. And now, I was searching to find out more about my clan that I recently learned about more than I even know. And now to see this place, this destruction, I too have no idea where I'm going to go or what exactly I'm going to do with my life, said Naruto. I guess we're alike in that faction, she said. We're both not sure what to do. Yeah, I guess you're right, said Naruto. Time skip. Asuna stood on the shores as Naruto had relayed the information back to her. Her father saying that he loved her. But not even that was enough to distract her from what was going on. Realizing that he was starving and she must be hungry as well. However, all of his food was lost in the water. Naruto decided that he would get them something. After all, there was multiple thriving trees on this land. Given the fact that they were in the middle of the dense ocean, there wasn't a lack of water around here. So the trees had thrived rather brilliantly, and there were fruits of all kinds. However, despite the small interaction, she's already felt attached to Naruto, not wanting him to leave, because he was the last Uzumaki other than her, and she feared to be alone. That was a nightmare of hers, and now she was living it. So as she stood there waiting on him to return, her mind, she was trying to focus on something else. Unlike Naruto, she knew a lot about their clan, and she knew who targeted them. She knew everything. Her attention was taken away from her thoughts as she saw Naruto returning, holding something rather large in his hand. It was one of the large blankets that Tsunami had gave him. It washed up, he found it. However, he used it for something else. As Naruto landed down beside her, he opened it up and inside was all sorts of fruits. This island is really lush, with all sorts of things, said Naruto. And we lucked out. I found this wash up on the shore near down there, said Naruto, as he picked up one of the fruit and bit down. It was so juicy and delicious. Here, said Naruto, offering her one. She looked at it before reaching out as she took it, and taking a small bite of it. Good, huh? Yes, it is quite good, she said to him, as the both of them sat down there. In order to take her mind off of what she was going through, Naruto decided to tell her a bit about himself, leaving out most of the parts that, well, wasn't that good. It actually helped a lot as the both of them sat there and talked. During that time, she learned that he was now 7 years old, had recently became 7. He was keeping track. She, on the other hand, she was 13 years old. Naruto was curious though. She used that wing technique against him, but she was so young as well. She wouldn't mind going over a few things, as she told him that in their clan, learning elemental ninjutsu was a priority, even for the younger members. Uzumakis were blessed with high Chakra reserve, extremely so. So at a young age, they were taught how to control that, and soon after they were taught how to manipulate it in various ways. Not to mention Fuinjutsu, that was also a priority, and a lot of the members of her clan also dealt in Kinjutsu as well. Many of them were experts with a blade. As she told Naruto about someone, Ashina Uzumaki. Ashina was one of their leaders, as he was a rival, the Hoshirama Senju and Madara Uchiha at their strongest. Naruto heard those names. While he did not spend much time in the academy, it was one of the first things that Aruka went on about, the history. And those two were said to be gods of the ninja world because of the power that they wield. As they eat and talk, she started to get tired. However, Naruto noticed something. It was the way that she was treating him. I know that I'm a little kid, however, I'm not going to leave you. She paused when she heard that. I can see it in the way that you're acting. I haven't met a lot of people, but, well, I have met a lot of people, but not many that I've talked to or had a long conversation with. But I had a friend back in the Hidden Leaf. At least I think he's my friend. Shikamaru. Him and I was talking about something. About how people tend to not release their own problems because they think others won't be able to handle it. Well, him saying this was because he didn't want me to bother him with my problems. But just because I'm young doesn't mean I can't handle what you have to throw at me. I mean, I've been through so much already. So, it doesn't matter what you're going through or whatever you need to talk about. I'll always be here. After all, we're the only two Uzumakis left, so we have to stick together. Naruto had no idea how much his words affected her right there and then. He said it so casually but yet so sweet. It brought a smile to her face as she hugged him, barely knowing him, and yet she's hugged him more than once before and even cried on his shoulder. And he was a child. He was correct though. She was doing her best not to burden him with her problems. After all, he was just a 7-year-old boy. And she was supposed to be the adult between them because she was the older one. She ended up falling asleep right there and then as Naruto sat with her. He decided to bring her back inside of the underground labyrinth. As he saw how she got out, he placed her hand on the wall that she placed her hand on earlier. It recognized her as a ceiling there activated, causing them to enter back inside. As Naruto searched the entire place until he found a bed. He placed her on it before stepping away as he lay outside. He lay down on the hard floor. It wasn't that bad. When she woke up the next morning, she believed it all to be a dream. At least she hoped that it was, that her family was not gone. However, she hoped that Naruto was there as well, that the Uzumaki clan was back and Naruto was someone that joined their clan. However, it was reality. As she got up though, she didn't see Naruto anywhere. She started to panic until she heard "Hell yeah!" Making her way, she saw Naruto within the library. Standing there was 7 other clones, all of them smiling at one another. "I take it you learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu," she said to him. Naruto turned. "You're awake?" "Yes. And it seems like you've been rather productive." "I didn't sleep much last night. I figured I would check these books out to see what they had to entail. And I came across a lot. I've always wanted to have a helping hand," said Naruto. "Besides, if I could create more of myself, I wouldn't be so lonely all the time." That kind of tugged at her heartstrings as she stepped forward, Naruto dispelling the clones. "Well, I'll be here for you so you don't have to be lonely." She then paused. "Hold on a minute. Does Konoha, your former village, train the same way that the Uzumaki clan train their members? I mean, to pull off that technique you have to have a substantial amount of chakra. No offense, but you're half Uzumaki, and you're young. So how do you have that much control?" "Oh, that. Well, I kind of have, what's the word? Oh yeah, unlimited chakra. My chakra cannot finish." She looked at him. That's not possible." "What do you mean? It is." "Look," said Naruto. As he held his hand out, his chakra appearing around him. She stepped back with a shocked look on her face. It swirled and danced around him. "I can control it pretty easily." "It's my friend," said Naruto. "Might sound weird, but it's different than other people see their chakra. From what I learned from, the Hokage of my former village, I don't understand. To have unlimited chakra, that's just not possible, Naruto," she said. "But it is. Can't you see?" he said. "I'm not running out." She narrowed her eyes. "Would you mind me doing some tests on you?" "Sure," said Naruto, figuring that it would take her mind off what was going on. Throughout the testing, Naruto told her about the 9 tails. That was a beast that was inside of him. That once again shocked her, as she couldn't believe it. She said a word, "Mito," as Naruto asked her who that was. He told her that it was the wife of Hoshirama Senju. Mito Uzumaki. It was in her time. Mito was married off to Hashirama Senju as a sign of trust between the two nations. Senjus and the Uzumaki share ties with families, so to strengthen their bond, a marriage proposal was given. Mito had made the Nine Tails her own and became the first Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. The first Jinchuriki. Well, there was history about another, but she wasn't about to go over that right now. As Naruto was sitting down, she decided to tell him a bit about their history. Her father was really high up in the clan. There were things that, well, she wasn't about to go over those right now. Just about the history of the Uzumaki clan. You see, Naruto, our clan is special in many ways. That is why they call us by many names. One of them being the Longevity clan. Our clans possess special bodies that allow us to live past the normal aging of a human being, along with our exceptional chakra that rival any jonin even for some of our younger members. We possess skills in many areas, but our most deadliest was Fuinjutsu. Tail beasts like the Nine Tails are nothing in the face of true Fuinjutsu users. Therefore, we were the most dangerous in the entire elemental nation. Our clan was also ruthless as well when it came to handling enemies. We did not ally ourselves simply. Given the fact that we were small and yet our power can rival entire nations. They feared us. They hated us. They wanted us gone. But we refused to bow to their whims. So when they came, it was chaos. It wasn't just one though. The only participant that was never included was Konoha. And that was because of the ties that we share. But they never made it on time to help us. We were hit from all over, each and every nation except for Konoha, coming together to wage war on us. But despite that, we were still just a clan. And this is the aftermath of what happened. So just because they were afraid, they wiped us out, said Naruto. Yes, my father taught me a long time ago that this world was a wicked place. Only the strong survive, and the weak dies, she said to him. We tried to be strong, but in the end, against all four nations, with all of their forces, we weren't strong enough. But I doubt my clan went out without a fight. But so many years has passed and so many things has changed. Do you want revenge? Of course I do, she said. I want to hit them where it hurts. I want to make them suffer for what they did. But every time I think about it, what is that going to do? Is it going to bring back the people that I lost? The people that I love? All I would be doing is getting myself killed. I'm strong for my age, but I don't possess anywhere close to the power to fight the four great nations on my own. She said, before a quizzical look came on her face. How is this possible? She said, rather confused. What's wrong, said Naruto. She then turned her gaze over to something. I think I understand why this is even happening. Well, not the unlimited chakra part, but why your chakra seem to be sentient. What do you mean? You said that it feel like it's alive and your friend, right? Yeah, said Naruto. Well, the Nine Tails is not inside of you. It's not? First of all, the tail beasts aren't just mindless beasts. They have sense, knowledge, understanding. The beast was inside of you, but it's gone now. Whatever happened to you, it destroyed the beast. And somehow, his consciousness, not in a physical form though, but mere aspect of it, merged with your system. I don't understand, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. Alright, think about it this way. The Nine Tails was alive. Something happened to it. It is still there, but it simply cannot speak or interact as we do right now, like talking. Still with me? Yeah, said Naruto. So it merged with your insides, becoming your chakra. Given the state of your body, I believe that it is trying its best to protect you and keep you safe. Why? Why would it care about me? I don't think it's his personality, but I think it's mostly to do with your chakra and it being under your control. So just think of your chakra with a mind of its own, with its only goal to be to help you. So it can do anything on its own? I don't think it can. I think you have to give it a command, but it's with you and it helps you in certain areas. Have you ever seen something like this before? Oh yeah, I was really cold one night and then my chakra turned bright orange and started to warm me up. Exactly what I mean. You wanted to no longer be cold. It understands you, something that normal chakra would not do with a thought. And your body heated up, your chakra heated up. The unlimited part though I can't understand. There seemed to be no physical end to your chakra, which makes absolutely no sense. You said you ran away from your village. I don't think that you're gonna get off scot-free. What do you mean? Trust me, even if you might see the Hokage as your friend, even if you might see people there that you trust, you have unlimited chakra. If the wrong person was to get their hands on you, they could literally turn you into a weapon of mass destruction. You don't understand, even now. If I use that wing technique on you, a couple of times I will have to rest because I would get tired. However, with you having unlimited chakra, you can generate enough force to use that simple technique to wipe an entire nation off the map. That is how much power you possess. Whoa, I never thought of it that way. So that's gonna make me a target, said Naruto. I'm surprised at your last name. Didn't already make you one, she said. Well, I've been going by the name Menma. Only one person know me as Naruto Uzumaki. Well, 4 person, but I trust them. They're a family. And they told me that I'm welcome there anytime. It's at the Land of Wave. Land of Wave. I remember that country, she said. A small little plot of land with a few people coexisting there. Oh, it's different now, it's much larger. And they're building this humongous bridge to get to the mainland. I helped them. Oh, and I did something strange as well. Someone had their hands chopped off by this bad guy. And I wanted to give him his hands back. And I somehow felt the tissues and his arms connected to mine. And I brought them back with my chakra. I'm still not sure how that was possible. It seems there are more than 1,000 mysteries to you just by even thinking of what you're saying. Don't worry, I'll figure them all out for you, she said. Naruto was happy that this was keeping her mind off what she was currently going through. And he doesn't mind being a guinea pig at the moment because he was learning a lot as well. Before Naruto knew it, months passed by. Yes, and he was learning a lot. The fact that he was there was also helping Asuna a lot as well. He learned about her father. Her father was not just any Uzumaki. Her father created things that other Uzumakis were cautious about. The goal and the animation. He wanted to go a step further and Asuna had all of his notes and she intended to finish her father's work. Naruto read a lot, as it seems like the other members didn't really share the same ideal that her father did. Not to mention he was learning a lot as well, not just physical wise but mental wise. Asuna was a great teacher, realizing that he needed the help. He was a young boy after all and he didn't know much, and she was a wonderful teacher. However, Each day that passed by, she was more and more fascinated that Naruto had unlimited chakra, as Asuna was working on something to see if she can pull off something rather big. As for Naruto, he went to learn a few of the techniques. His body, his alive chakra that he come to call it, was able to manipulate and mimic each nature. So, he had nothing to worry about. The problem was, Naruto started to draw attention by training on the outside. After all, the island was supposed to be barren. There were ships passing by from the far distance. Rumors started to spread about the Uzumaki clan being active once again. Now that was a death sentence to most, given that they joined up to wipe them out. A counterattack from the Uzumaki clan would throw the entire world into chaos. As word started to spread more and more, the first to receive this information was none other than the Hidden Stone. Time skip. Naruto was situated within the water as he held his hand out, a smile on his face as the fish was captivated in a bubble of water and raised above the surface as he brought it back with him. He had branched out for their eating habits. Asuna knew about the herbs and spices that grew on the island, and she prepared the fish rather amazing in several different ways. It was a good thing that she was an amazing cook. As she arrived to see Naruto, he was back with a lot. It seems like you had a good catching day today, she said to him. Yeah, sure did, he said, holding up the container. That was until she paused as she turned her gaze. Naruto followed her gaze as he saw a boat. Strange, since arriving here this was the first one that he saw, as no one really came around these parts, but there it was heading here. Wait, heading here? Naruto blinked as he saw the thing was coming in their direction. Wait, Asuna said, we have to be very careful. We don't know who these people are or what they want. Well, we'll just don't tell them anything about ourselves, Naruto said. As they watched, a boat came to a stop and two people got off. A man and a woman. The both of them were in standard civilian clothing. As Naruto watched them very carefully, Asuna as well. Ah, finally, the man said, walking over as the woman was right by his side. We've been on the sea for some time now. Our captain got really sick, and he's out of it. We have no idea where we are. Would you two mind getting your parents so we could ask for some direction? The man said. Our parents are not here, Asuna said, watching them carefully. Then where are they? The woman said. They're just not here at the moment, but I can assist you. I know the way to get back to the mainland. Ah, that would be lovely, the man said, making his way over. For some reason, Naruto felt something off. Asuna felt it as well. The man tried to chop her in the back of the neck. He was trying to knock her out. However, she weaved under his hand and jumped away. The woman immediately went for Naruto, showing that she was no civilian. But Naruto surpassed her with his own speed and jumped to Asuna's side. Huh, I guess they're not so dumb after all. Do you really take us for fools? Asuna said. What's going on? Naruto said, confused. They're here to kidnap us. Well, you mostly. That boy over there doesn't look like a Uzumaki. But you, on the other hand, you have that prominent red hair. I can't believe we lucked out so much, the man said. Indeed. We were only sent here to investigate the strange sightings. But it turns out that there's a Uzumaki here. You have no idea how happy the Tishikage will be once he finds out about your existence. Now, be a good little girl and boy and come with us before someone get hurt. We're not going anywhere with you, Asuna said. Get off this island before I kill you both. Huh. Tough girl, huh? But your words are not very compelling at the moment, given that you're just a child. Maybe if you were adult, we would be more terrified, but given how young you are, we doubt that you're that strong. If you don't want your little brother over there to get killed, I suggest you come with us. Oh, Naruto can handle himself just fine, Asuna said. If you two don't want to get killed, I suggest you run away. Immediately. Wait, said Naruto. We haven't done anything to you people. Just leave us alone. I'm afraid it's not gonna work like that, honey, the woman said. The Tishikage wants you both. Given your rather prominent genes, I'm sure that could be used well for our village. What? Said Naruto confused. They want to use us to create more Uzumaki children, to add into their ranks to make their force more powerful. But why? Why would you force someone to do that when they haven't hurt you, said Naruto. That is just how the world works, honey, she said. Now, be a good little boy and convince your sister to come along. We're not going anywhere, Asuna said, stepping towards Naruto. Fine. The hard weight is then. Earth style. Revolving cage, the woman said, slamming her hand down. The earth around Naruto erupted as he looked. However, he moved away. The woman and the man was surprised at his sheer speed. The man dashed forward as he appeared behind Naruto. Behind you, Asuna said. The man swung his hand down towards Naruto's neck. However, Naruto appeared behind him and delivered a powerful kick to the back, sending him sailing. He crashed hard. While surprised, the woman did not let that stop her, as she reached Naruto within seconds. She tried to knock him out, but Asuna threw something. It was a small, animated golem, around the size of her fist. It rolled in on itself and struck her in the stomach. She staggered back as she grabbed the thing and threw it to the side. But that was the distraction that she needed because Naruto was gone. Where is that? The woman cried out as Naruto punched her directly in the spine, sending her sailing as Asuna ran forward and slammed a brutal fist in her gut, stopping her. The woman was in sheer agony. Asuna flipped and jumped on her shoulder before flipping to her back. Snap! She broke her neck just like that. Her father had taught her how to handle herself in close combat, in very lethal ways as well. This was the first time she had taken a life though. However, she didn't feel anything for these people. Naruto on the other hand was shocked. They're monsters. Keep that in mind, Asuna said. They want to hurt us, to use us. Naruto's eyes widened as a kunai was thrown towards Asuna, with an explosive tag on it. It was the man that had thrown it, having gotten to his feet. Asuna wouldn't be able to turn in time. The kunai was supposed to explode and hurt them just a bit. Hopefully not kill them, but he realized that these children were far stronger than he originally thought, and if he didn't do something drastic, he would die. However, he had no idea what he just did. The other members that came here, it was 5 of them, started to leave. Only one remained on the ship, as he came off as well, but he did not advance towards the island, using the ship as a cover, and this wasn't their only transport at the moment. Naruto flashed in front of Asuna. The explosion went off directly in his face. However, Naruto covered it with his chakra, as he forcefully pushed his hand together, snuffing out the blast. When Naruto looked back up, the sky trembled, the heavens quaked. He was pissed. No, he was ferociously angry. The only person that was connected to him by his name, and this man tried to take her. These people, they did nothing to them. They never hurt them, they never see them in their entire life, and they wanted to use them like they were property. Why? How could people be this wicked? Naruto was consumed with power. The island shook ferociously. The last member that stayed by the boat was rather shocked as Naruto left off the ground. So much power that his body started to elevate into the sky. He held his hand out to the man. He tried to move, but he was hit from left to right, from front to back with wind. As Naruto manipulated the pressure around him, the wind then started to revolve around him, sucking out his oxygen, before Naruto clenched his fists as they started to tear into his very flesh, creating a gory, bloody mess. Several techniques were launched towards Naruto from behind the other ninjas as Naruto turned and waved his hand. A ferocious gale tear through the place, throwing them away. Naruto wasn't done, as this time he focused on the electrical force, summoning that current. The heavens quake and cackle, the sky darkened as his power was literally messing with the atmosphere. Naruto held his hand out and discharged violent surge of chakra. The screams were deafening and loud. The last member took to the water immediately as Naruto reduced their boat to dust. His rage as he looked around, ready to eliminate the others. "Naruto, it's over!" Asuna's voice reached him above the violent current that surged around him. Asuna was completely fine, him instinctively protecting her, one of the arms protecting her, as she didn't even have a scratch on her. Suddenly, he returned back to normal. "Are you alright?" he said, checking over her. "Yes, I'm fine," she said. There was a smile on her face. You killed them, yes you did. But you should not lose a second of sleep over this. Those people, they're monsters. If they would have captured us, you have no idea what they would have done. Trying to use you and me, just to make themselves more powerful. They would kill without remorse. So killing them shouldn't bother you one bit. I know it's difficult at first, because of your young age," she said. "But that was the first person I ever killed as well. But these people don't deserve our empathy. They don't deserve our tears. We have to leave this place." "What? Why?" said Naruto. "They will come back. After not receiving anything, they will come back and they will be stronger and larger as well. We have to leave here immediately. I know that you're powerful, but you lack the experience that one needs to properly use and control all of that power. But don't worry, because I will help you. We're both gonna get stronger so we don't have to fear them anymore. So we can change things for the better. What do you say about that?" "As long as you're with me, I'll be fine," said Naruto. She smiled. "Wait, what about the library?" he said. "Don't worry. As long as I have this, everything will be alright." She pulled out what looked like a key, with strange markings on it. "What's that?" "The only reason why you were able to enter was because my father left it accessible to all Uzumakis. I'm tied into the system that is that dimension." "Dimension?" "Yes. The place is not underground as you believe. It's in a separate dimension. My father had long since broken space with Fuinjutsu. That is where that place is located. You see, with this key, it is no longer accessible unless I redraw the seal and input this key in any surface to get there. So we can go anywhere and still access that place," said Naruto. "Yes, because we will need it to become stronger," she said. "But we have to leave here. As much as I love this place, as much as it is my home, I won't allow my love for it to sacrifice your life." She said to him, "But we will be back. And we will be stronger than ever to protect our land. Because I don't think that the Uzumakis are as extinct as you believe." "Oh, what do you mean?" said Naruto. "It was something I was checking out upon, recovering for the past few weeks. There was an underground tunnel that was destroyed during the chaos. However, there was an opening that showed that some of the Uzumakis left. There was blood there that showed that one of them got scraped by the sharp stone, but some of them did left the area. I saw there was a corpse down there." One of my fellow clansmen stayed behind in order to guard it until the others had left. But that's many years ago, said Naruto. Yes, but they probably had children. But they're probably in hiding right now, knowing that their very name is a stigma. I'm going to need your help to find them and bring them back home, she said. Of course, they're my clan as well, said Naruto. I'll protect them. I'll protect you. I won't allow the nations to do what they did. I won't allow them to hurt anyone anymore. That brought a smile to her face, as Naruto was finally realizing just how wicked and corrupted these people truly is. And they don't deserve their mercy or anything else. They deserve to suffer. The last member that was there swam out until he arrived towards the other boat. The Tishikage was a very smart man. Knowing that plans could fail, he immediately told the others what happened. They decided to head back, realizing that this was much bigger than they originally thought. As they headed back towards the village, the problem was, these members loved to talk amongst one another. So it wasn't hard for information to leak because spies were everywhere, even within their own villages. It did not take too long for the Sannin to get said information about the blonde with the whisker marks that possess ungodly amount of chakra. Jiraiya was surprised though that Naruto was at the hidden Whirlpool village, his home grounds. While he was never raised there, it was his lineage, where his mother came from. This was getting more and more bad as information started to spread. The Raikage was shocked to hear that. It wasn't only about the blonde boy, but there was another Uzumaki. Given that these two were together, perhaps they were siblings. The child simply gained his hair from his father or mother that wasn't a Uzumaki. However, to possess such power at a young age, from what he's hearing, and these rumors didn't sound so ridiculous, and his spies came back to confirm it, the Raikage was on the next list to find and bring these ninjas to his village. After all, he was all about gaining the more powerful ninjas. Given the lack of bloodline that his village possessed, having a literal Uzumaki would prove to be more than beneficial for his unit. Time skip. Naruto and Asuna was walking through a town. They were being extremely careful as Naruto here was brown, along with dark eyes as well. He was wearing a standard clothing of a civilian, not to stand out. She had her father reserves and gold coins, so there wasn't a problem of her using those to gain things that they would have to buy. Her hair was also dark as well, looking rather standard like a big sister with her younger brother. It was a simple change in seal as they were at another town, having used the tunnel to get out, because unlike others, Naruto could create a vortex underneath the water which allowed them to breathe and carry them to the mainland, so no one noticed that they left the place. Even all the people that were standing by, they were able to get by anything. They came out rather refreshed and normal, her having the key to access the different space that was connected to theirs. They were currently located within an inn, as both her and Naruto were in the bathroom. She finished applying the seal to the wall as she empowered it with her chakra. She placed the key in the center as it started to move. The wall itself shrunk and opened up. She then took the key back as they stepped through. Whoa, that's amazing, said Naruto. You don't know the half of it. My father was quite the genius. There are things here that other Uzumakis could even dream of. And when I say other Uzumakis, you must know, given how good my clan was in Fuinjutsu, my father wanted to revolutionize Fuinjutsu, to use it to break the link between man and God, to transcend beyond the human level, to do things that would make him seem as a god. If he still had time, I had no doubt in my mind that my father's name would be placed on history for the rest of eternity, but things are different now. I will continue on with his research. I will continue on with his work. What about everything else? Said Naruto, as he looked rather worried. She placed two hands on his shoulder. There is nothing to worry about. We have each other. And as long as we have each other, everything's gonna be alright. However, I'm sick of hiding away. So it's time that we become stronger so we no longer have to. It's time that we find the remaining members of our clan and make the Uzumaki clan strong once again. After all, isn't that the last note that my father left behind for you? Naruto took a deep breath. She was right. He needed something, a purpose, a reason to go on. He was going to take her father's wish and make it reality. And he wouldn't allow anyone, absolutely no one, to hurt his new family. And that was a promise. A distance away, emerging from the ground, was a creature known as Zetsu. As a man was sitting down, his back was facing Zetsu. So what's the news, he asks. It seems like we have a change of global events. The Uzumakis are making a comeback. Is that so? How much? I'm not sure yet, but from what I heard, there is just two of them, Zetsu said. Two, huh? Children. Yes, Zetsu said. What are you thinking, he asks. As myself, they must despise this broken world. Related to or not, they must know about the history of their clan if they were found on that island. They can be useful to my future plans. Do you know where they are, the man said. Not yet, but we can find them. Get on it then, Zetsu. They can be valuable to the organization. Will do, boss, White Zetsu said, causing Black Zetsu to just nod his head. Considering that the both of them were connected as they made their way, as the man stroked his cheek, this could be a blessing or perhaps a curse. But one would just have to wait and see. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification so you posted. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace.